I decided to be lazy so that rather than do anything on my own, since my granddaughter was on her vacation, I just kept in touch with her and wrote her story instead. So we have the best of both worlds. On 4th March, I pondered the first topic on the spring and summer list for members of this august writers group and assumed that a person's favorite vacation would be spent at a location distinctly different in climate, character, and culture from one's regular place of abode. The experience should provide an opportunity to remove yourself perhaps from a stressful routine and figuratively let yourself go in a relaxing atmosphere that promises to be delightful, perhaps even magically interesting. In my experience, the assigned topic is frequently uncannily relevant to contemporaneous events, thereby triggering one's creativity, a phrase I suspect more exciting in anticipation of a result as opposed to actual accomplishment. 2 months ago, the U.S. State Department Spring and Summer Travel Advisory was published, alongside of the promotion of the premiere of the Bob Marley One Love movie. It warned vacationers, quote, to avoid Jamaica as their destination of delights, which may well have scuttled the likelihood of a dramatic increase in the numbers of American visitors to the island. Almost as if the list of deterrents were not enough, Michael Rogers of an international security outfit stoked the fear of crime. When he was not quite satisfied with those statistics, his firm and final warning was that if while you are on your visit, a medical emergency should arise and the injured needed medical attention, adequate services could not be guaranteed. Therefore, for all the aforementioned reasons, a favorite vacation for anyone living in America is likely to be closer to the North Pole than the equator. I could not even imagine such an undertaking, but the opportunity to capitalize on my granddaughter's current travel plans providentially came to my rescue. Gabrielle should graduate from Duke in May 24. She was crossing the Atlantic for her much dreamed of vacation in Denmark and Sweden, which included participation in a sustainability and environmental management program at the Copenhagen Business School. She arrived on Friday, 1st March. A field trip to tour a sustained environmental city was taken on Monday, 4th March. A boat ride to view windmills on the sea was enjoyed on Tuesday, and she and her friends spent Wednesday with several management companies that worked on sustainability. The older Danish folk who spoke with Gabrielle seemed to be very concerned about the aggression of Russia, and they would tentatively relate to stories of fear which they recalled about the World War II years. In their history, one hero stood out. He was Christian X, whose character the Danes said was too authoritarian. His title was King of Denmark, but he also was the King of Iceland because of the personal union between Denmark and independent Iceland between 1918 and 1944. At the outset of World War II, in September 1939, Denmark declared itself neutral, but they, to their surprise, were immediately occupied by Nazi Germany. Among Christian's cousins were King George V, Emperor Nicholas II of Russia, and King Constantine I of Greece. Gabrielle recalled that I had mentioned conversations I had in Athens in 1963 with Prince Constantine, who became King Constantine II in 1964. We had discussed in light of the Jamboree in Athens, programs for youth development. It is ironical, in light of the remarks of a Michael Rogers, that travelers should be warned that in case of emergency, hospital readiness was not satisfactory. That is because my granddaughter's surname is Rogers. That is because none of us could have predicted that Gabrielle would develop a sinus condition that impacted her facial bones, which caused severe pain when she attempted to eat. Finding a dentist open at 7 p.m. as she walked along an avenue in Sweden was a blessing. They took 3 x-rays and prescribed antibiotics, which solved the problem, and cost the princely sum of $33 US, which she reckoned was because of the state being so socially aware. Sweden is today a strong democratic country, and while Gabriel was there, it was formally announced that NATO had admitted Sweden. On Friday morning, I messaged Gabriel telling her that Sweden's premier was present at President Biden's State of the Union address to Congress and the people. Ulf Kristersson was one of the honored guests seated in the First Lady's circle of dignitaries. She also learned the role that nationals of Sweden had played in service to the United Nations organization. Dag Hammarskjöld served as Secretary General from 10th April 1953 until his death in a suspicious plane crash in the Congo in 1961. This happened during a critical time in Katanga involving mining companies. The Last Train from Katanga, a movie about the crisis, was actually filmed in Jamaica using the railway facilities, including the Angels to Bogwalk Tunnel. Gabriel was also impressed by the distinctive architecture, particularly the churches in Sweden, and I was able to confirm that the Catholic Church, beside the hospital in St. Thomas y Vale, where I was born, was dedicated to St. Helen of Skopje in Sweden. Gabriel departed Denmark on Saturday the 9th of March, arriving in the Netherlands for a 3-day stay in Amsterdam. Over the last 48 hours, she has spoken with several citizens and has found them eager to speak about war long ago, terrified by the current aggression of the Russians in Ukraine. As she states in her message to me yesterday, quote, "I don't know enough people, but the people seemed friendly, pretty content in their lives and very smart. They talked about an invasion by Russia and how they were weak against them during World War II because they are tall but not as well armed as soldiers in the Russian army. That felt true today. Our instructor was 6 feet 7 inches tall." Although Gabrielle has denied herself certain sweets for Lent, a Dutch pancake was not on the forbidden list, and she found the taste of these she had really tempting and delightful. She had become, on her vacation travel, a true believer in Dutch flipping skills. She made the most of the cheerfulness that surrounded her in the cosmopolitan city of Amsterdam, and its polite and engaging people in museums, art galleries, and restaurants. She departs Amsterdam as arranged to arrive at GARD du Nord, Paris, tomorrow evening. That is a city she feels comfortable with in having paid previous visits. And all its transactions, she is looking forward to spend her first day at the Louvre and the evening at the Eiffel Tower. I was able to tell her that they have been celebrating at the Tower women's freedom to choose, which in France has been given constitutional protection.
A Catholic country.
Oh, my daughter's going to Amsterdam in June, so that's, I'll tell her, a good place to go.
Yes,
Drink
yes.
some dine. Oh, you know, wonder where everybody is